Hiya fishy folks, welcome to Michael's Fish Room. Today, a tour. Grab a snack and a beverage. It's gonna be a long one. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite tank is, and stand by for a massive Michael's Fish Room tour. Alright fishy folks, let's start down low with the red snakeskin and albino bristlenose breeding tank. Actually the bristlenose in here are just kind of grow outs. You can see there's one over there. You can see there's a bigger one up on the rock, on the wood. If I were to go around back and show you all the bristlenose that are stuck on that wood, you would be amazed. There's probably 30 of them. There's another little one hanging out right there. Anyway, this tank is, all my tanks in the fish room are breeding for profit tanks. What does that mean? That means that they're not here for show. They're not here for me to look at and admire. They're here to breed so I can sell, so I can make some money. Do I enjoy fish? Absolutely. Is it calming to come down here and listen to the bubbles? Yes. Do I like do-it-yourself and making tanks work right? Yes. But the truth is, the tank looks dirty. It's just not pristine. The glass hasn't been clean. There's a lot of snail egg sacs on them and a lot of snails. That's what happens in a working fish room, folks. All right. Red snakeskin and albino Pleco tank. Here's a new tank. I wonder what's in here. We'll have to talk about that in another video. But I care. All right. Red cobra. These aren't red cobras. These are red blonde cobras. You can see that female, her back appears to be jacked up. It's just because she's so big. But all these fry have come from her or the other female that's probably hiding, dropping more fry. You can see the Java moss is growing quite well in here. Little tiny, not a little tiny, but one sponge filter hanging out in the weeds. I don't know, some red plant that probably was in a pond outside that I put in here because I don't know what to do with it. Anyway, breeding for profit tank, lots of fry, lots of places for the fry to hide, and red blonde cobras. Alright, moving on. Empty space, designed for a 10-gallon, use it as storage. This is the blue metal mosaic tank. Has a little Penplax bubbler in it. Video on that. Either out or coming soon. Anyway, I have sold quite a few of these blue metallic mosaics. These were the purple snowflakes that I got from Live Aquaria that weren't purple at all. And after about 3 drops of fry, I decided to rename them blue metallic mosaic because that describes them, in my opinion, perfectly. And you can see there's a couple different batches of fry in there, different ages, different sizes. So I've sold, like I said, I've sold quite a few out of this tank. And I mean, to be honest, they were pretty hardy fish from Live Aquaria. They just weren't what I believed they to be. And to me, they don't look like the picture, but that's a whole nother story. If you want to see that, there will be a link down below, and maybe on the screen you could click to see the whole Live Aquaria disaster. Dumbo Rainbow Dragon Mosaic. There is one fry in here. Well, now it's a juvenile. There still might be a cherry shrimp. I don't think so, though. And that's it in this tank. If you have Dumbo Rainbow Dragon Mosaics in your possession, you've bought them from me, or you breed them on your own, send me an email. I would be interested in purchasing at least a trio. You all know the story about this. Blue Deltas, growing up, growing out. You can see some down low by the box filter. These were outside in the pond. I did an experiment and this tub wasn't covered. I'm fine. I did get some fry, but not a whole lot of fry. So next year, every tub will be covered to protect against the alien dragonflies. Pretty prolific and hardy strain that I keep in the fish room. You can see on top there's some more, I don't know, different sizes, different, oh, look how clear that looks. Different ages. This tank also has some water wisteria in it, and of course duckweed. You know, duckweed is a pain in the butt, but it's great at keeping water parameters in check. I think it's a good thing in fish tanks, but that's just me. And if you have goldfish, they love it. All right, moving down to a red Cobra grow out tank. You can see there's one down there. A lot of these tanks are quite understocked, and that's basically because business has been really good at michaelsfishroom.com. And so I'm going to use the winter where I can't really ship to hopefully produce many different strains of guppies. So my stock levels are good in the spring. But to be honest, I appreciate all the business. I appreciate all the sales. And it really helps. So thank you so much. All right. This is a tank. Somebody sent me chocolate Plecos. It's funny. Chocolate Plecos, I believe, is just another name for regular standard bristlenose. But if you know different or think different, certainly let me know. Typical... you know what? There's no wood in this tank. I just realized I got to get some wood for these guys. They've been in this tank for quite a while. I'd say at least a month. He did a great job shipping. It was his first time. I went over some pointers with him, but he should be doing well. He's probably selling on Aquabid. Also, there's a couple red tux females, maybe 2. Was hoping she was pre-hit when I put her in here, but she wasn't because I don't have any fry. So still looking for a good source for red tux guppies. Green Cobra grow out tank. Yeah, nothing to say. It's just some green cobra juveniles waiting for the males to show their colors. And there's a male. And let the females grow out. So hopefully in the spring these will be nice, big, and plump and ready to go. Here's my all-male guppy tank. There's quite a few redgrass guppies. That strain tends to drop more males than females. I don't know why. I don't know the science behind it. Just a dumb guy with a camera. But Super Breeder Doug says the same thing. Also, there's some black Moscow males in there. There's some purple Moscow males in there. There's a yellow cobra. There might be a bluegrass male in there, but all-male tank. Now, all-male tanks should work. Just have to make sure there's enough food for everyone because they can get aggressive. And if I were dropping a female in here, she'd probably not make it 24 hours before they you know, her to death, if you know what I'm saying. Lemon drop Pleco tank. Lots of loam and wood and hides for them. I don't know. They like to hide. They don't come out very often. But they're in here. See if we can find one. There's one. And there's actually babies in here. I don't know. Can you see that baby? I didn't even know, but they bred in here. I wasn't even, like, I didn't even think they were old enough to breed. But boom. Babies. Pleco babies. Love it. Black panda guppies. So I sold a lot of these recently and stocks are very low. Monica, I know you're waiting on a male. When I get back from Japan, I will send you your trio. That's that. And here we have what's left of the pond mutt guppies. There's a couple of pretty huge females. There's one male left in this tank, adult male, and then a bunch of juveniles and fry. When I brought the mutt guppies in, I treated them like new guppies in the fish room, which means they went through a week of quarantine, and then I shipped out all the orders. And let me tell you, there was over 300 fish ordered. It's a lot of mutt guppies, and I almost sold out of them. To be honest, I was really low on stock, so over the winter we will boost this mutt guppy colony and hopefully breed the heck out of them so we can start selling them in the spring. Alright, fishy folks, let's go to the second row. When I came down to the fish room this morning, I usually kind of do a quick look around, and I noticed this light. It's an LED light. It was recommended to me by Jason from Jadron Aquatics, and that worked pretty good for almost a year. Maybe 2 years. Maybe almost 2 years. It got really hot, though, I noticed, which I didn't really like, but it was cheap. but it has stopped working. I can't figure out, it's plugged in, I don't know what's up, but I'm probably gonna toss it and buy a new light. So strange space. It's 36 inches here, so a 36-inch LED is what I gotta look for, or a 4-foot shop light, and let it hang over a little bit over there. But anyway, these are the green dragons. Might be hard to see them because they hide even when there is light. It's hard to see them. Hopefully we get some breeding action out of these guys. Typical tank, a couple pieces of wood, a couple of caves, mulm, and a sponge filter. And this is one of the first sponge filters I ever used in the fish room. Of course, it's not focusing because the glass is so dirty, but it's got growth on it, which I love. All right. Super Red Pleco grow out and breeding tank. I've started to ship out Super Red, so if you've ordered them, you probably received them already. I shipped some to Mob Guppy. Go over, check out Mob Guppy's channel. Peter and I are tribe mates and have become friends via the internet, and I hope he likes them. You can see there's some brand new fry. We had a storm here the other night, and boom, I had babies in all my Pleco tanks again, of course. But we got a Japanese box filter. We have a regular box filter and that ginormous sponge, which I don't have any air to. And there's wood and caves, and these guys are just breeding like crazy. Can't wait for the spring to start selling them again. All right, here is the other red blonde Cobra tank. This was the original tank I had, and you can see there's quite a few fry and juveniles in there. There's also lots of water wisteria from the ponds. I'll probably do these outside next year. I'm curious to see if the sun makes the gold body from the Cobra, if it makes it pop some more. So these guys are really hardy, really prolific, of course, and you can buy them on the website, michaelsfishroom.com. All right, moving on. Stand by, I gotta move the chair. Move my dip and pour or viewer. Here is the Japanese blue tank, and also there are some bristlenose plecos that have bred in there. They breed everywhere, but these guys, the long and short of this story is I had these guys. I bought them basically because they were Japanese blues, and you know I go to Japan quite often. In fact, you're watching this now and I'm in Japan. But I sold out of them, and one of the guys that I sold them to was in Puerto Rico. He started shipping fish, wanted to know if I wanted some back. Boom, he sent me fish as a practice run, and these are all the babies. Probably a year ago. So I've sold quite a few out of this tank already. Very, very prolific. As far as breeding, like that one down there has a little bit more red in it, so I'll probably take that one out, put in the Mutt tank. But gorgeous little fish, a smaller style guppy just like the black pandas. Great for nano tanks. All right, this tank has super breeder Doug's red grass guppies. I have sold quite a few of these. Also has a new China filter and a China filter over there, and you can see a albino chocolate bristlenose pleco fry on the tube. I've only seen one, which is strange. I didn't even know there was a pair in here. I knew there was two left. They're probably hiding. They like to hide. Sometimes I come down in the morning and they're on the glass, but they're probably 4 inches. These guys, they're huge. I'm fine. And yeah, I came down and there was fry, so at least one. Look, there he is. So it's good. Oh, there's another one. There's 2 fry. Cha-ching. I've sold some of these albino chocolate bristlenose adults. They're not on the website, but somebody asked if I would sell them, and I did sell them. I don't know if that's I don't know if you can see right there. No, maybe not. Anyway, that's that. Chocolate albino bristlenose and red grass. Here we have lots of mulm and pleco babies. These standard bristlenose plecos drop, look at all the adults in the back. They drop calicos, I think, and albinos. Also, we have some guppies from my friend at KGE Aquatics, Keith. Check out KGE Aquatics. Look at that guppy. Check out KGE Aquatics for all your plant and rare live bearer needs. He does Gadiads as well as, he might do some Guppies, I'm not sure, but lots of plants. His plants are by far the best around, and great prices, great service. And look at all these Plecos. I mean, they are fantastic. So you see we got that ginormous Moam-covered sponge filter, that other sponge filter with no air, this tiny sponge filter. Now, this filter is here basically in case somebody emails me and says, Mike, my tank crashed. I need a cycle filter. Can you send me one? Boom, cycle filter. I will probably be buying some Japanese box filters here in Japan, and I'm going to put in many of these Pleco tanks to help control some of the Moam buildup. But I like the Moam. Black Moscow Guppy grow out tank. I have a huge order for these. I don't have them in stock, so we're breeding them. The customer said he would wait, so he's going to wait until the spring when I have plenty. You can see quite a few males. I may have to come and remove some of the males so the females don't get harassed to death. Yeah. Anyway, ginormous pothos plant growing out. Look, it goes down there. And then somebody said, Mike, put it across the back of the tanks. And so I did, and there it goes. And you can see some of those leaves are a little bit yellow. I mean, this thing is huge, so it requires a lot of nutrients. I may end up cutting it and just putting one end in another tank to get the nutrients. All right. Yellow guppies, these guys have been sick. I've been treating them. They're finally putting on some size. I think we've beaten whatever they had. I've been using the Everything Aquatic Fenbendazole flake. Love Everything Aquatic. You know, I do quite a few videos on it. Dina has no idea. I just do the video because I love it. Anyway, there's some calico plecos in here. You can see a tail. You can see in over there. I don't know if you can see. Hold on. Let me see if I can focus on that. Nope. Because the snails having sex are in the way. There we go. There's another Pleco in that cave. There's babies in here too. Babies everywhere. All right. More Pleco breeding babies. Lots of Moam. We kind of cleaned this tank a little bit a couple days ago, but you know, there's Moam. There's some seeds from zucchini or what have you. And the Plecos just love this kind of tank. You can see all the Plecos on the side. These are just standard bristle nose Plecos. Love the coloring, love the pattern. And of course, they have to drop albinos too. I wish I understood the genetics, but I have a feeling that most of these Plecos aren't pure anymore, so they just drop whatever. All right, here we have some long fin brown Plecos. You can see there's one chilling. And these were the mystery cobra guppies that I got from Live Aquaria. They weren't labeled. And I think I had ordered 8 pair and I got 1 pair. And so there's the male with that red line in the tail. There's one of his offspring. So I'm going to probably move these to the Mutt tank when I get back from Japan. And start over with something else. We have this nice China filter that I did a video on. You can see there's another long fin back there. Hopefully these long fins fatten up and start dropping fry. I would love that. Moving on to the albino long fin tank. Now you might notice this tank is quite dirty. I did have an issue with the filter, and I fixed it. We're gonna let this filter run. Actually, obviously I'm not in Japan filming the video, but after I filmed the video, I took the filter off, and you'll see that if you haven't already in the how to prepare for a trip video that I did. But this tank also has longfin albino Plecos as well as blue neons. See, I had to move to see blue neons. Also pretty hardy and prolific. So that's that with this. I really don't like these not aqua clear. These cheap filters I got at PetSmart. They suck. Flamingo guppy and albino bristlenose breeding tank with lots of Moam and Java moss. And so these flamingo guppies are guppies that I purchased from a wholesaler and I'm breeding out. And you can see how many fry there are in here. I can't wait for the spring when they're all grown up and this tank has, you know, 150 adult guppies in it. That's going to be pretty cool looking. But also it has the albino Plecos that I tried to breed outside. If you remember, I brought 4 or 5 ginormous adult albino Plecos in. And I would say within 3 days they had dropped some fry. There's one of the fry they dropped from the summer, or when I brought them in after the summer. And I haven't seen that many fry, but I know there's fry in there, obviously. And they're just doing their thing. There's one, I don't know if you can see it. There's one next to that square cave. Not a fan of the square cave, to be honest. It was given to me to try. Don't really like it that much, but these flamingo guppies are amazing to look at. All right, fishy folks, you might have remembered this tank next to the flamingo and Dumbo mosaic firework guppies had some amazing guppies from Tamed Waters. Unfortunately, I lost a male and a female about a month after I got them, so I don't think it was anything to do with the fish. It's probably environmental. Could have been my fault. Could have just been it happens. Sometimes it happens with guppies. But at any rate, in this tank now are some purple guppy fry that a customer sent me. She wanted to practice shipping, and she asked if I wanted to buy these purple guppy fry. So I like to dabble with different strains of guppies. So boom, I bought them. I actually haven't paid for them. I paid for shipping, and then she wanted to see how they did, so I have to contact her and pay for shipping. I mean, and pay for the guppies, but they're doing fine. Her shipping, it leaked a little bit, but it happens. It was her first time. That's kind of the biggest thing when you ship, especially when people ship me for their first time. Bags tend to leak, so you just got to learn what to do. All right, purple guppy fry. Moving on to the Dumbo Red Mosaic Fireworks. These are spectacular. Got these at Tamed Waters. Phil at Tamed Waters. He is the man. And they dropped fry the first night. And then they've dropped fry again. Now there's one of the fry from the first night. I'm hoping when it grows up, it looks more like the adults. Because right now I'm like, is it breeding true? Is it not breeding true? So hopefully it breeds true. It looks like it's going to. We'll see. But these guys have done well. They are amazing looking. Hopefully they'll be on sale in the spring, and we will go from there. All right, folks, these were 2 Mutt guppy tanks. There might be one in here. I'm trying to consolidate before I leave. Looks like there's 2 or 3 left in this tank. In this tank I really haven't started to clean out, but yeah, this tank doesn't have a filter in it, and it only has probably about 4 gallons of water, and it's been that way for 3 days. Oh my God, and they're still alive. Of course they're still alive. So these, just gonna consolidate to the big Mutt guppy tank. Here are those half wild crosses I got from Guppy Life in Puerto Rico. They're nice looking guppies, but because they're, you know, half wild, they're very, very, very shy. I'm surprised this female is still here, quite frankly. I think she's fry from the first drop I had, but I like their tails. Not very colorful, but you know, it is what it is. Here are the purple grass guppies I got from Tamed Waters. Unfortunately, I lost the trio very shortly after I got them. Maybe shock from shipping, or my water parameters were slightly different than they're used to, but the female was smart enough, or I was thankful enough, she dropped a batch of fry. There's about 10 in there, so when those grow up, we'll continue to breed these. Let's just move this way. These are the fake red cobras I got from Live Aquaria, and you can see there's one female left. Doesn't look anything like a red cobra, but yeah, that's that. These are actual red cobras, breeding pretty hardy, pretty good breeding fish. Actually, at one point they were the #1 seller in Michael's fish room. That female I'm probably going to take out because her tail is kind of muted. Don't really like that. So moving on. Half black guppies. Really nothing to say here. Probably one of the least expensive fish on Michael's fish room because they're kind of bland. But somebody gave me some, so I'm breeding them. Red mosaic dragons. These are gorgeous guppies. They're on the website for sale. Pretty hardy, pretty prolific. Got the line from Phil Hanby. Phil did a review on me, unbeknownst to me. He had someone else buy fish from me, and then he reviewed them after I got them, which I thought was kind of strange, but I mean, I guess it makes it so it's a blind review. It was a good review. It's on his Facebook page. Guppy Breeders USA or something it's called. Anyway, these are the cross of the black Moscow and red cobras. We got some tail issues. I don't know if that's genetic. Certainly not water quality, because look at all that Java moss growing and all the fry. There have been 3 generations born in this tank. We'll see how the fry grow up. More than likely they're just going to go in the Mutt tank, but I just didn't have time to actually properly cull and separate and breed. So these are red mosaics, also from Phil, slightly different than the other ones. Waiting for these to grow up so we can put them on the website and sell. Here are my Jarowi Lazulis. I have 1 pair left. We sold out of the rest, and we're letting this pair grow up. I don't know if you can see them in there. Oh, there's the female, and there's the male. The male is stunning. I mean, that's a gorgeous looking fish. They're very small. They're kind of the same size as the Japanese blues or the black pandas. Moving on to the second green cobra tank. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Mike, actually, you're probably saying, Mike, why do you have 2 different tanks of green cobras and red cobras? Well, the reason is, if one of those tanks crashes, I need a backup. They're big sellers, so I need a backup. That's why. This is a 10 gallon, the other is a 20. That's kind of sometimes how I do it, because of size constraints in the fish room. Here are the metal black lace, fantastic, gorgeous guppies. I got these from Phil at Tamed Waters. They dropped fry within 2 or 3 days. You can see them in the back growing up nice. These guys are stunning. Can't wait to put these on the website. Here we have bluegrass guppies. I sold a pair to somebody who loves blue guppies, and we're just letting these babies grow out. Dark purple Moscows. I took the male out. I have 3 females. I've never seen fry. I don't know if they're sterile. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but these probably are going to go in the Mutt Guppy tank soon. Empty 20 loan that leaks. I finally emptied it. The plan is to take this down before I leave and put up 3 10 gallons. That's not going to happen, but that's the plan. Moving on. More Red Dragon mosaics. The original line I have. Really nothing to say. Another red cobra tank. These are the red cobras that came from the pond. You can see how big the females are, and there's some fry. Hopefully we get some males out of these guys. So far it's been lots of females. That fish looks like it's having a problem. I'm going to have to cull that fish as soon as we're done. I don't know what the problem is. Yellow cobra tank. 1 male. I lost the breeding female, so there's 1 male and a bunch of fry. And I don't know if we can see, but this is the tank. If you remember, I had the long fins that had the disaster. I'll put a link to that video somewhere. You can see there's one of the fry on the glass over there. But there's 3, and they're growing well. There's also 1 on the lift tube of the filter, and also the elbow of the drain. So I never figured out what happened. I have 3 survivors. They're doing well. Hopefully they grow and we start breeding. Also, there's a poop ton of snails in here. All right, let's go over here. Here are some glass-bellied guppies that a customer gave me. They're a customer of Super Cichlids, and his name is Mike. Hey, Mike. And he asked me if I wanted some of these. I said, sure. They're glass-bellied red lace, I think is what he called them. And he gave me a pair and 6 or 7 fry. We're just going to let them grow out and see what happens. All right, this is a male Mutt Guppy tank. When I started running low on Mutt Guppies, I went to my local fish store and bought a bunch of males, put them in quarantine, and here they are. And they're going to go in the main Mutt Guppy tank. They're done with quarantine. I've already sold them out, but probably when I get back from Japan, I'll put them in the Mutt Guppy tank. All right, blue-eyed lemon tank. We got a couple of breeders hanging out in the caves. There's some juveniles probably on the other side of this filter, but to be honest, I'm almost sold out of these. I had to buy some from another breeder to sell, and and hopefully we get some breeding action over the winter. If not, I'm gonna have to buy some. All right, fishy folks, just about done. Let's take a look at Chewy. Oh, sorry about that. Hey, buddy, there's Chewy, and his cock has been growing back to normal. Look at him, all healthy and happy. And when you see the video, if you haven't seen it already, I don't know the release schedule I'm gonna have yet, but you'll see what the problem was as to why he was so, his cock shrank and he was so lethargic. Anyway, he's doing well now. All right, fishy folks, last tank, the 90-gallon massive Mutt Guppy tank. There's also a couple blue eye lemons in there and a couple Gibiceps Plecos. And this tank is pretty empty because I sold, like I said, 300 Mutt Guppies after I brought them in from outside. So over the winter we will power feed and get these guys growing so that in the spring we have plenty of Mutt Guppies to sell. Guys, I hope you liked the tour. Don't forget to check out michaelsfishroom.com. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Sun Pump, for the noise. Over the winter, we'll boost this colony up as well as the other Mutt Guppy. During the summer, we will, not summer, winter. She needed to practice shipping, and she wanted to know, I speak much?